सेव किया था ना?
मैं सिर्फ इसलिए गया था क्योंकि उसने मुझे कॉल किया, that's it. But listen तो.
Save it for someone else.
जिंदगी में सेव करना जरूरी है, मगर जब बात पैसों की हो, सिर्फ सेविंग से काम नहीं चलेगा। इक्विटी म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट कीजिए और अपने सेविंग्स को आगे बढ़ने का मौका दीजिए।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
This episode of Cut The Clutter talks about Mahua Moitra, at this point, former Lok Sabha MP. I was inclined to say Lok Sabha MP, but at this point, technically and factually, former Lok Sabha MP, because just this afternoon, Lok Sabha accepted, by passing a resolution, accepted the report of the Ethics Committee looking into allegations against her. That committee recommended that she should be expelled for misconduct, for unethical conduct. It also recommended that Lok Sabha also admonish Danish Ali, another member of parliament from Bahujan Samaj Party in this case, who was also a member of the ethics committee, for his conduct in the committee hearings and also for leaking to outside media and to public by and large the proceedings of the ethics committee, which are supposed to be kept confidential. Anyway, that is not such an important part. The important thing is that Mahua Moitra, who is a fiery member of parliament, who is controversial, who makes news, whose interviews are watched many times, who's also seen by the opposition as one of its key speakers in Lok Sabha. Key speaker, she's given time to speak on most key important debates. She's now out of Lok Sabha. Now, she's out. We first have to understand the sequence of events. So I will tell you first sequence of events, then the charges against her, and then what is it that the ethics committee has said about the charges against her, and also then some debate and arguments and counter arguments on whether what the ethics committee and the Lok Sabha following that has done is right or fair or not, and also looking at past precedents. Further, also explaining to you how there seems to be a turnaround in the approach of the BJP to similar issues from the past to now. From the past, when I talk of the past, I take you back to 2005. So I'll come to that also. So first of all, this is how the story unfolded. October 15, as we told you earlier, Nishikant Dubey, the BJP MP from Goda in Jharkhand, wrote this long letter to the speaker making these allegations. In the allegations, he also had a lot of details and documents he claimed from a lawyer in Delhi, a young lawyer, Jai Anant Dehadrai. Jai Anant Dehadrai had been friends with Mahua Moitra. In fact, lately they've also been fighting over the custody of their dog, Henry. There is no secret to that. Both have been posting pictures of Henry, the dog, on social media, talking about their arguments and their contentions over the custody of the dog. Now, we love dog lovers, so in this case, both are dog lovers. We can see that, so full marks on that one. That said, let's move on. Immediately, the Lok Sabha Speaker referred this issue to the Ethics Committee. Now, some experts say, as we'll go on to explain to you as we go ahead, some experts, including P.D.T. Acharya, the former Secretary General of Lok Sabha, they believe that a case like this should have gone to Privileges Committee, not to the Ethics Committee. Nevertheless, it was handed over to the Ethics Committee, which held its first meeting on October 26. See, this is all moving at a T20 speed. Usually in Government of India system, or judicial system, or parliamentary system, things don't move so fast. October 15 is the complaint. First meeting of the Ethics Committee is October 26. That is when Nishikant Dubey and Jai Anant Dehadrai, the estranged friend of Mahua Moitra's, who has given a lot of the quote-unquote incriminating or allegedly incriminating material against Mahua Moitra to Nishikant Dubey. He also deposes and Nishikant Dubey also deposes. In none of these cases has Mahua Moitra been given an opportunity to cross-question or to cross-examine these people making allegations against her. That is something that we must say for the sake of fairness. Second meeting of the committee now takes place on November 2. Again, moving very fast. November 2, this is where Mahua Moitra also deposes. She deposes, but she leaves halfway in a half. she leaves midway through her deposition in a huff, basically saying that she's not being given a fair deal, that the questions that the questions she's being asked, and the committee report, ethics committee report, makes a mention of that, and the committees and the questions that she's being asked as to when did she travel to Dubai, in which hotel did she stay, etc., etc. These amount to asking her who she slept with and when. Also, Danish Ali also intervened. He also allegedly made some noise, and also together they created a kind of situation where it was said that this was akin to Draupadi's Cheer Haran. That's the episode from Mahabharata, which all of us are familiar with, where Draupadi, wife to the Pandavas, was humiliated by Kauravas who attempted to strip her naked in their darbar. That said, she walked out midway. She had also gone in defiantly. You've all seen those pictures, and if you find them, we will again show those to you. She went in carrying 3 expensive bags. That was a political statement or political reply to those who said that she was asking these questions in return of favors, which were mostly luxury goods, including luxury branded bags. So her defiant answer to that was carrying these 3 bags to this hearing. While this is going on, October 15, Nishikant Dubey had made his complaint, and October 26th, the first meeting of the ethics committee took place. On October 20, that is between that period, another affidavit was filed before this committee, the ethics committee, and that affidavit was signed by Darshan Hiranandani, son of Niranjan Hiranandani, who is a big-time real estate tycoon in Mumbai. Darshan lives in Dubai. Darshan is based in Dubai. And Darshan's affidavit then made claims, and these claims essentially were that Mahua Moitra was asking him for favors, it was asking him for expensive goods, services, free car, free travel, etc. And why was he giving her these? He said he was giving her these because he thought she's an influential MP. I will read some lines from his affidavit for you as we go along. That she's an influential MP and she was very well connected with opposition MPs. So he thought that that could help his businesses or his family's businesses in opposition-run states. That affidavit was filed on October 20th. In that affidavit, he also claimed that Mahua Moitra had shared with him her Lok Sabha portal login and also her ID and passwords. So he could now access the Lok Sabha portal directly, and wherever he wished or if he so wished, he could ask questions directly on her behalf. While Mahua Moitra asked for the right to be allowed to cross-examine Darshan Hiranandani, that was denied to her. In fact, Darshan Hiranandani was also not summoned to depose physically in front of the ethics committee. That is the factual situation. Now, a few important things. What are the questions? What are the kind of questions she was asking? These questions have all been appended by the ethics committee. I think it's Appendix 5 in its report, and I will share a link of the entire report with you. You can read it at leisure. It's a long report, but really the pages that matter are 42 to 53. Now, many of the questions that look loaded, many of the questions were about Kolkata Port Trust, and also about some LNG jetty being built there. Now, we can check out, Google confirms that Kolkata Port Trust had signed a contract with Hiranandani Group to build a jetty there for transporting LNG. LNG is liquefied natural gas. So there were some questions about that. There were also questions about terminal near the Haldia port in Kolkata, where again Hiranandani Group was involved. Also, there were questions about some other ports on the eastern coast. 2 other major ports on the eastern coast, that is Dhamra and Paradeep, in both of which Adani had vital interests. So it also looked like her line of questioning, allegedly at the behest of Darshan Hiranandani, was also targeting the Adanis. Now, if you talk to people in Mumbai, there is a lot of insinuations also that Adanis have got the contract for rebuilding the Dharavi area, and probably it could be that Hiranandanis, being the preeminent builders or being among the preeminent builders of Mumbai, might have wanted that contract as well because it might be lucrative. It's a large area, it's a large sprawl, And at this point of time, it's quite central in Mumbai. So we don't know. These are all insinuations. We can't confirm anything. I'm just reporting these to you. If we start reading from the operative pages of the Ethics Committee report, so para 51 of the Ethics Committee report, and you will see it on your screens, para 51, it says, and I'm reading only the relevant lines, it says, the committee also notes with utter dismay that soon thereafter, various news channels that were present in and around VIP lounge of Parliament House Annex flashed the clips of Srimati Mahua Moitra shouting and divulging the proceedings of the committee, which is supposed to be confidential. I'm going on reading from the Ethics Committee report. Some of the language is a little bit twisted here or a little bit imperfect or less than perfect. I hope this is not some kind of a violation of privilege, but I will read it as it is, and I'm sure you're smart enough to make sense. So this committee said that Kumar Danishali also not only participated in divulging the proceedings of the committee, but also dishonestly twisted the clarification sought by the committee from Srimati Mahua Moitra to the effect that, and I quote, on how many occasions from 1 January 2019 to 30th September 2023 she visited Dubai, and during her stay at which hotel she stayed. And then committee report goes on to say, as asking question by the committee as to whom Srimati Mahua Moitra slept during her stay in Dubai. What the committee intends to say, I suppose, is that he structured this question as if to insinuate that the committee wanted to ask Mahua Moitra who she slept with during these stays in Dubai. Committee says that there were 3 questions before them. 1, unethical conduct and contempt of the House by Mahua Moitra. 2nd, unethical conduct and contempt of the House again by Srimati Mahua Moitra, but now by way of accepting money, cash and kind, amenities and various other facilities by her from Darshan Hiranandani. And 3rd, unruly conduct and spreading of rumors by Kumar Danishali of BSP. After this, the committee lists all the material they received from Ministry of Home Affairs, which confirmed who travelled where and when, Ministry of External Affairs, that confirmed that Darshan Hiranandani lives in UAE, and also that he swore his affidavit in the Indian consulate in Dubai. And 3rd, from Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, confirming that this login and password had been given away by Mahua Moitra to somebody in Dubai, that on 47 occasions, this portal had been accessed from her ID and using her login from Dubai. Then the committee goes on to furnish evidence it has got from Ministry of Information Technology that on 47 occasions, this portal was accessed from Dubai, and also explains what hazards it might lead to. So the committee's argument, the ethics committee's argument is transfer of login credentials to unauthorized elements could provide an opportunity to such elements to access the system, leading to several potential hazards. First, given the threats that the country is facing from state and non-state cyber actors, such leakage of credentials could render the system vulnerable to serious cyber attacks and potentially disable the system entirely, thereby crippling the functioning of the Parliament of India. Second, such elements could plant material into the systems that could impact national security by creating false documents and fake narratives. The committee then lists a number of draft laws which have been posted on this portal, which were accessible to MPs, saying that many of these laws, the drafts, if they had fallen into wrong hands, they could have caused serious problems, even hurt the national interest. And one of the laws, the draft laws that they mentioned specifically, that was the Jammu and Kashmir Delimitation Bill of 2019. In conclusion, in para 62, the committee says, a threadbare examination of this aspect therefore goes on to establish beyond doubt that Srimati Mahua Moitra had deliberately shared her Lok Sabha login credentials with Sri Darshan Hiranandani, a business tycoon based in Dubai, thereby facilitating him to operate the same from Dubai for raising parliamentary questions in Lok Sabha. Therefore, Srimati Mahua Moitra is guilty of unethical conduct. And then the committee adds in para 64 that the committee further notes that Srimati Mahua Moitra allegedly demanded favors including cash, expensive luxury items, providing support on renovation of her officially allotted bungalow in Delhi, travel expenses, holidays, etc., apart from seeking secretarial and logistical help for her travels from India and to different parts of the world. As evidence, the committee also quotes from an interview that Mahua Moitra gave to Rajdeep Sardesai on India Today TV channel. Again, I quote from the committee's report. As a matter of fact, quite recently, Srimati Mahua Moitra, while giving an interview to One Shri Rajdeep Sardesai, it's legalistic language, One Shri Rajdeep Sardesai, which was widely telecast by India Today and available on YouTube, Mahua Moitra had accepted that Shri Darshan Hiranandani had gifted her Hermes brand scarf, spelled scarf, Hermes brand scarf, Bobby Brown brand lipstick and eyeshadow, makeup articles. Whenever she was visiting Mumbai or Dubai, Shri Hiranandani also provided her a car. While renovating her official bungalow in Delhi, Shri Hiranandani also provided her layout drawings. Then the committee quotes from Darshan Hiranandani's affidavit. That's the one I talked about in the beginning when I said I will quote a few lines from Darshan Hiranandani's affidavit. It says, over a period, and I quote now in quote marks, over a period, my friendship with Miss Mahua Moitra grew. I also felt that through her, I would get support in other states ruled by the opposition because she bonded extremely well with other leaders of opposition like Shri Gandhi, I presume Rahul Gandhi, like Shri Gandhi, Shri Shashi Tharoor and Shri Pinaki Mishra, with whom also she shared close relations. Importantly, she also made frequent demands of me and kept asking me for various favors, which I had to fulfill in order to remain in close proximity with her and get her support. The committee says, however, that they see a contradiction because Mahua Moitra merely claims that Darshan Hiranandani gave her these gifts, whereas Darshan Hiranandani alleges that she demanded these from him. All of these, the committee says, amount to Mahua Moitra accepting illegal gratification. I quote from the committee report, illegal gratification from Darshan Hiranandani. This has been clearly established. These are undeniable and based on systematic deliberations of the Committee on Ethics. Again, it says that they can't establish if Mahua Moitra took any cash from Darshan Hiranandani, but they would now want Government of India to get its institutions involved in investigating those and establishing, quote unquote, the money trail where possible. With these words, she was pronounced guilty, and you can see how quickly this wheel has moved. Now, the reason I said I'll take you back to 2005 to explain to you, to also help us all understand how the tables have turned or how the situation has changed. In 2005 was the last time when we saw a major incident of MPs being caught, in this case on camera, for demanding money for asking questions. This was a sting operation by Cobra Post, web portal run by Anirudh Behel, that had caught 11 MPs, 6 from the BJP, 3 from BSP and 1 each from Congress and RJD demanding money, ranging from 10,000 rupees to 1,10,000 rupees for asking questions. This sting was published then or shown on Aaj Tak. After this, there was furor in Parliament. So Lok Sabha set up an inquiry committee under Congress Party's Pawan Kumar Bansal, and Rajya Sabha referred it to Ethics Committee because one of the 11 MPs was from Rajya Sabha. At the end of this, all 11 were expelled. BJP staged a walkout in Parliament saying that this had been done like a kangaroo court trial. This was the expression used by the BJP at that point. Now the BJP itself has done exactly that. So BJP had called it a kangaroo court verdict at that point of time. And what did LK Advani say? LK Advani was the BJP's preeminent leader then. He said, this is the parliamentary equivalent of capital punishment. And he said, this punishment is not commensurate with the facts of the case. The facts of the case indicated, he said, that this is definitely a case of corruption, but this is more a case of stupidity. In Rajya Sabha, Arun Jaitley then said this should have gone only to the Privilege Committee, not to Ethics Committee. Now the same BJP has taken a different view now. It's reversed its view and has sent it to Ethics Committee. Now these different strokes for different folks' business. Some of this is also explained by PDT Achari, former Secretary General of Lok Sabha in an interview with DK Singh and Saurav Roy Burman, of which I'll share a link with you. That's been published on ThePrint. Please check it out. He also mentions some other cases where MPs have been expelled for unethical behavior. For example, 2007, RJD MP Rajesh Kumar Majhi, a Dalit MP from Gaya, he was suspended for 30 sittings in Lok Sabha. He was not expelled. He was suspended for 30 sittings of the Lok Sabha after an inquiry committee found him guilty of misusing parliamentary privilege of taking his woman friend, a woman called Rani alias, also known as Meena. He was held guilty of taking his woman friend Rani alias Meena, impersonating as his wife on official tours. And how was that discovered? Because his wife, Pramila Manji, had earlier written to then Lok Sabha Speaker Somnath Chatterjee complaining about this. An inquiry committee was set up under Kishore Chandra Deo of the Congress party, and that recommended his suspension. Apart from barring him for 30 sittings, the Lok Sabha also restrained him from taking his spouse on foreign tours until the end of 14th Lok Sabha. So that was also a punishment. Probably that also became a punishment for his genuine spouse as well. Then there was a 2007 human trafficking case. In fact, a much more serious case. In this case, Babubhai Katara, a BJP MP from Gujarat, was caught at Delhi airport trying to smuggle a woman. This was a case of human trafficking. He was caught trying to smuggle a woman who was impersonating as his wife to Canada. He was caught. He was expelled from the house. So I thought it's also important to mention these cases to you, besides giving you the precedents of how this played out in 2005, when BJP was at the receiving end of sort of similar quick justice. This I thought would be interesting for us to put this in perspective and context.